Hello, this is Angela Anderson. Thanks for joining me tonight. We are going to be doing a really fun project. Very, very easy. This is a total kids project, first time painter, any of that. We're going to be using cotton swabs, Q-tips, and one brush, but it doesn't have to be a really good brush. It can just be a large foam brush, a credit card, and possibly a toothpick. If you're going to be doing it on a larger canvas, you could use one of these foam rounds instead of the Q-tips and just enlarge it that way. So really easy, cost effective. This is great for groups and things like that because you don't have to buy a bunch of brushes. You know, you could get a few foam brushes and for $1 a piece and go to town with a whole box of Q-tips. Got my husband Mark here.
Hey there, everybody.
He's going to be man in chat tonight during our live show. So we're going to try to do this fast. I'm using a very small canvas tonight. This was my example painting. I think I'm going to change it up just a little bit. I didn't like all the yellow. I felt like it kind of overwhelmed it a little bit. So I'm going to kind of stick to the pinks and blues and add a little bit of yellow, but not quite as much as in my example here. But you can do whatever you want. That's the nice thing about this painting is you could do it any color scheme, any kind of thing you want. We're going to do kind of a neutral gray background on it. And I'm using an 8x10 canvas panel just to save time tonight. So we got a lot of little dots to do. Sometimes these take a little longer than you might think with the Q-tips. So I'm going to give us plenty of time. So I'm going to grab, and I'm using an extra large palette. I put out a bunch of colors that you can mix. So don't feel like you have to buy all the colors that are in the description, or I'll go through them really quick here. There's two yellows. There's a cad yellow light and a cadmium yellow medium. This is a Pyrrole orange, but you can use like a cadmium orange or cadmium red light is similar to this. This is light portrait pink, light magenta, medium magenta, Quinacridone Magenta, let me see, Cobalt Violet, Brilliant Purple, Dioxazine Purple, Light Ultramarine Blue, Light Blue Permanent, Phthalo Blue, Teal, Turquois, and this is Phthalo Green, Yellow Shade, Light Green Permanent, and Brilliant Yellow Green. These are all listed in the description for you. This is carbon black and titanium white. So those are our basic colors. Basically, just kind of do a rainbow of colors. I find that it's a little bit easier to pre-mix my colors. So you might use like a palette knife or something like that to kind of pre-mix a few colors, or you even use a craft paints that are pre-mixed for this. So the craft paints would work just fine, and you can save your heavy body acrylics for something else. They're kind of expensive. So this one you don't need to use the real good paints. I've mixed a gray using 1 part ultramarine blue, 1 part carbon black, and 2.5 parts white. So and I might use a little bit more white. It's kind of dark here. I'll grab a little bit more of that white. So maybe 3 parts white. And I'm going to put it on quickly and streak it and not fully mix it.
Can you move your glasses on your shirt?
Oh, yes. I didn't know that they were doing that. Actually, I'll go ahead and put them on.
Wardrobe change here, sorry.
I have my close-up glasses. Ooh, now I can really see.
All right.
I forgot I even had them attached to my shirt. I just walk around with them on my shirt in case I need to read something up close. Forgot all about it. You're the mic guy. You should have,
Well, yeah, I saw them there when we mic'd you up, and then I didn't think about it. I'm like, what's that clicking sound? Oh, it's her glasses hitting the microphone. It wasn't really
bad.
obvious, no.
Okay, good. All right.
So as long as we don't tell anybody, they won't know the difference.
All right, I'm going to tilt that up so you're not seeing the shine there. And while it's wet, I'm going to grab some of my greens. So I'm going to grab this green here. I'm just going to pull from the top down, streak some green in there. This is that medium green color. The light green permanent. It's actually a good green to have because it's kind of like a real happy Kelly green sort of color. It makes a really good grasses and things. Very good for spring colors. This is, I don't know, I've just been in the mood to do flowers this week. So we're going to do another flower on Saturday. We're going to do a large, oh, I'm off camera there, honey. You're not even looking, are you? You're not even, jeez. He's supposed to be helping me with this. All right, I'm going to let you dry that.
Oh boy, hold on a sec.
He didn't know he was going to dry today.
Am I off camera?
Yeah, you're off camera. So if this is your first time to my channel, welcome. We're really glad to have you tonight. We do these classes for beginners every Tuesday and Saturday, right? This is 2017, so if you're watching in a few years from now, you can check my channel header. Go to my page by clicking my name or my photograph, and it'll take you to my main channel page where you can see all my other videos. We've got several hundred, well, over 100 now, and all different levels of experience. So beginners up to more advanced paintings. Tuesday nights are usually our beginner night. This is one of the ones that we did a few weeks ago that was also with Q-tips with a lavender field. So I have the link to that in the iCards. And I also linked this painting, I think, or maybe it's in the beginner paint playlist. Actually, I put this one in the beginner playlist. This is one of my all-time, actually my #1 painting from all time. That's also used in Q-tips. So these are my 2 Q-tip paintings, and we're doing another one tonight. So obviously they're popular because it seems to be the thing to do. I've got just regular cotton swabs here. I used these earlier, and they're dried, so I'm going to use the other end to conserve. But I've also bundled just a few of them together with rubber bands to make a little bit larger bundles for some of the greenery that we'll do in the background of the flowers to save some time. So, you good?
I mean, it's not tacky, but...
Okay. Yep, that's fine. Okay, me. Thank you, honey.
I have a feeling I was off camera that whole time.
You were off camera.
Okay.
Why?
Well, okay.
Did you want to be on camera?
Well, no. It just... You're so concerned about being on or off camera, so I figured I needed to be too.
Well, I think that they're more interested in the... Unfortunately, I'm sorry to tell you, but I think they're more interested in painting.
We have never shown them the drawing techniques I use. That's all I'm saying. And it's a critical part of this whole process.
Okay, I've got a credit card now. I'm going to dip it into... We're just moving on. We're moving on. I'm going to grab both of those colors since they're side by side there on the end of this old... don't use an active one because it'd probably ruin it. I doubt that strip is working anymore. Plus, I cut it, so I'm pretty sure it's not active anymore. I'm just going to run this down. If you scoop it up kind of on one side and then lay it down at a slight angle, you'll get thicker lines. So we're going to go ahead and go almost all the way down to the bottom with this. We can pull it this way and scrape some down this way. And we're just laying kind of in our background behind our flowers. So we want some greenery back there. So I'm going to do some straight lines, and I'm just using the 2 lightest greens here for this. Oops, wrong side. There we go. If I did this while my gray paint was wet, it would actually scrape off some of the paint too, and you can do that. It's kind of called Scraffito. It's actually a technique that you can use to scrape through wet paint.
Oh, come on. You're making that up.
I'm not.
Scraffito?
Scraffito, I think it's called. Pronounced or spelled. Yep, it's an actual term. It's not made up. Google it. I dare you. I know stuff. That's you're questioning me on art stuff, really?
How can I go Google it?
Not
I
that
can't
I'm
even
like
spell it.
the ultimate
SG who what?
Sgraffito.
Oh, hey, look at that. It is honestly the very first thing that popped up when I typed in SGR.
It's probably one of the only words that's spelled with SGR.
It's made up. So, according to our wonderful search engine, a form of decoration made by scratching through a surface to reveal a lower layer of a contrasting color, typically done in plaster or stucco on walls, or in a slip on a ceramic before firing. Mm-hmm. So, are we going to set this one on fire?
No.
Okay.
No. Okay, so I'm leaving a little room, and I'm kind of alternating the height of these. And actually, you know, if we wanted to do it upside down, there would be our grass. I'm flipping it on its end and doing these upside down, though, just for fun. Just because we can. I actually saw a picture of some flowers hanging from a thing. It was a big thing at the Met a few years ago. They had a big exhibit of flowers hanging upside down. So I guess it's a thing now in decorating. So, you know, you get tired of actual normal stuff. You got to come up with new things, exciting things. So hanging the flowers upside down is the new it thing to do, I guess.
Is that kind of like the Hanging Gardens of Babylon?
Right, maybe, yeah.
I've heard of them. I don't know if it's an actual real thing or not.
Well, I think that they were like layered and they had the flowers hanging down, but I don't think they were hung upside down. Okay, I've got my fan brush now. I forgot to mention that. If you can use a toothbrush instead, but I'm just going to flick some paint. This is teal. So just mix your turquoise with some white, or your phthalo blue and phthalo green together with some white. You'll get a color very similar to this. We're just going to flick a little bit of that on there for some background color. And we'll probably do this again at the end to give it some more texture, but I'm liking that. See how it's already kind of looking interesting. Let's grab one of our little bundles here and we'll start dabbing on some leaves. So I'm going to grab the phthalo green. We'll just put in a few little sections of leaves using the 5 just tapping in kind of a vertical motion. I don't know if you can see the color and the shine. I cannot wait till we get a new setup so we don't have to worry about the shine on this paintings. Okay, so that's good. Do some kind of low because your flowers are going to come down, but some of them you'll want most of this is going to actually be covered up or, you know, have flowers in front of it. So put some kind of low so that you're going to see them after everything is placed on top. Let's do some, I'm going to grab some white and mix it with the phthalo green and grab a little bit of the teal and mix those two together. Just make it kind of a bright, turn this so you can see what I'm doing here. And I'm using the 4-piece one now. So a little bit of white. Just going to make kind of a light aqua green. Whoops, got some of that turquoise in there, but that's actually, I was going to grab some of that anyway, so that'll work. So if you kind of do the dark color on one side, once you get your lighter color mixed, you can kind of dip one edge into the darker, and you'll have a variegated little bundle. Let's do a couple right in here. I'm going to do one big one. And I'm going to hold it at an angle and just kind of tip a few of these lighter ones. Okay. And maybe one more over here. And over here. Most of it will be, like I said, covered up. We'll see a little bit of this in between some of our flowers though. So we want a little hint of this color. Okay. Very good. All right, so let's start with our individual Q-tips now. We'll lay in some of our major areas here. Grab one and turn my palette here so you can see more of the colors. Actually, I think if I move it, can't quite see all the greens. That's all right. We're getting most of them in there. I'm going to try to hold it up so you can see what I'm doing. So I decided to do more pinks. So I think I'm going to do a lot of the light pink. But first I think I'm going to do the purple colors and have those kind of be towards the back, and then do the pinks on top. So I'm going to grab some of this brilliant purple, and if you want to mix this, you could probably use that Dioxazine Purple and just mix it with white, but we're just using it to save time today. So, and I'm going to kind of grab a little bit of both of those colors like I did before, and we're going to let's just make some kind of circular type something, berries or some flowers that descend in a cluster. Do we have any questions tonight? Just how do you hold the Q-tip?
Well, no. Somebody did ask to demonstrate the fan splattering technique again.
Okay.
But I think you said you might do it at the end.
Yeah, I'll do it again at the end, and I'll take my time with it. Basically, you just want to wet down your paints when you're doing any kind of splattering. If you don't have it wet enough, they won't splatter. So that's the main trick to it. I think when people have trouble with it, it's because they haven't added enough water to it. It's got to be almost like a milk consistency. So very, very fluid. All right, so I'm going to do a big flower right in here. So I'm going to kind of leave some space right here. Maybe do another purple right there, but I'm going to leave some space, and I'm going to do some more purples down below. Just kind of guesstimate. And you can use chalk and draw out your drawing if you want. And then I'll do another one right here. So I'll do a few down low, and we'll bring that purple down. And if you noticed, one of the things that I'm doing deliberately is every time I introduce a new color, I'm alternating the height so that I'm not repeating any patterns. So this one's long, this one's short, kind of medium. They're about the same length, but they're far enough apart that if they were side by side, it might look awkward, but they're far enough apart with this long one in between that it's okay. And then this one's short, and this one's going to be a long purple cluster. That kind of helps your eye visually so that your patterns don't repeat too much. And then I'll make this one kind of in the middle. I'll do another section right here. And I'm going to make these a little bit more narrow because we're going to do a big pink section right there. You okay, honey? You're sighing over there.
Yeah, I'm doing great.
Good. Okay, I'm going to set this aside. Grab another one, and I'm going to grab this light blue, light ultramarine blue. It's just ultramarine blue plus white. So it makes ultramarine blue has a lot of violet in it. It's a more of a purpley blue, and so it makes this really beautiful light violet, light blue violet color. If your Q-tips are starting to get fuzzy, you can kind of push them down and twist them against your palette, and that'll kind of help keep the fuzz to a minimum. I haven't had bad luck with this brand. Well,
we need to have had a sponsorship. You keep naming a name brand.
And I'm not using that brand.
Shh, we're trying to get a sponsorship. Give me a call. I think it's Johnson & Johnson.
Actually, did get asked to do a Head and Shoulders commercial, so like sponsor my video. So
you could wash your hair on camera.
I didn't understand it since I'm not on camera at all. I was like, I didn't even answer it. I was just like, no. But I didn't think about the Q-tips thing. I should have just been like, no, but I will do a commercial for Q-tips. I don't think that they need help with the sales of those, so probably because they've kind of got a corner on the market already. All right, so I'm dabbing back over the wet paint and just kind of making random highlights on these and just kind of doing a sort of circular motion. If I get too much of the blue, I can go back in with the purple and dab a little bit of that back on. Go ahead and go. There we go. Pretty. This is so fun. This is actually so therapeutic. I really recommend you trying this because it's just no stress. Just have fun with it. It's almost like playing with paints because you're just kind of laying them down in patterns and kind of making it up as you go along. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect. That's the whole point of using the Q-tips. You could do this with a brush if you wanted to. You could just use it like a small round brush or something like that and do little dabs of paint, and that would work just fine too. So if you wanted to be a little bit more controlled about it, you could do that. So this is the medium magenta color, and you can get this color by mixing some white with your Quinacridone Magenta or something similar at least. Might not be this exact color, but something close. Okay, so I'm going to put in let's do some little aster type flowers. Let me get this lighter pink with it too. Get a little bit both. Thank you. Thank you, Ann.
Once in a while I catch it.
You caught it. Good job.
Mm-hmm.
Bonus points. So I'm just kind of doing little star-shaped flowers there. 1, 2, 3, 4, like almost like you did the snowflekes.
Like an asterisk?
Yeah.
Or however you say that word.
Exactly, like an asterisk. Neither one of us can say it.
Oh, we got the snort.
I'm sorry. That tickled me.
Flag the tape.
Oh goodness, we do need to. We need to do a best of Mark and Angela or something. With some of your best jokes. I still think the rooster one is my all-time favorite. Kitchen roosters. If you haven't seen that video, Mark was on his game that day.
Go watch the rooster painting.
Yep, watch the rooster painting.
Well, I got you pretty good the last time too about the paintbrush.
It's true, but I didn't laugh. I was just kind of stumped. It's like, really? Yeah. Okay. So I'm kind of making them larger towards the top and then tapering them as they go down. As they come down here, they're going to be almost in single file line. But I am kind of alternating. If you notice, I'm kind of skipping back and forth. So let's go down one more here. I think that'll be good. Okay, that looks good. Let's do one more over here. One more little section of this one. Now you can see why we did so much of this greenery because it's mostly going to be covered up. But we are seeing a little bit of it peeking through, so. Okay, just that much, I think, because we'll do another big flower right here and a large pink one right here, so maybe one more. Okay, and then on this side, do some up here. I'm leaving just a little bit of space so that they don't quite overlap, but they're really, really close to each other. This is a very textural painting, which is really fun. You could even try using your palette knife if you wanted to get in on the act there. Do some palette knife poppies on this or something like that, like we did. These Q-tips are working really well though for me. They've not been getting too fuzzy, which I like. Let's bring this one, actually I'm going to bring this one down just a little bit more, and then I can lower this one more time. One more little flower there, so it's not exactly equal with that one. Okay, looking good. What?
Nothing. Just doing my job over here.
Okay. You answering questions?
Not a lot of questions.
Good. All right, so let's go ahead and put in our big pink flowers, and those are the Quinacridone Magenta and some of this light pink color. So I have both of them on there. And I'm just going to do these kind of like snapdragons, I think. That's sort of the idea, at least. I guess I'll do one here and one or two here, and then one more over here. This looks like what we got room for here. So they do this kind of like almost tulip shaped, and you could do these really large if you wanted to. I think it'd be pretty. They hang down in this sort of style. I think I'm going to bring this one all the way down to here. We'll just make it really long. And we're going to end it with just a few little dots there at the bottom. Delphinium also kind of look like this, I think. It could be a number of flowers. All right.
Got a question.
Yes.
Somebody says that it seems that your design is in groups of 3.
Yes, yeah, that's intentional. Yeah, it's just a good habit to get into doing 5s, 3s, odd numbers, or just it's a design tool or design trick. It's just pleasing to the eye. And I'm going to do the 3, focal point flowers too. I think that's one of the things that I didn't like about this one, was just that the focal point flowers kind of took over this, and there was just too much of the yellow. So I'm doing some of the same flowers. I'm just changing the way I'm stacking them a little bit. So I've honestly done this painting 3 times. Sometimes it's the simplest paintings that take the longest to design. I don't know why that is, but it's hard to do simple designs. It takes a lot of thought and planning to kind of work out where to place some of these things. So we're going to do another section here. This is our big flower is going to go, but I'm just going to go ahead and put these underneath it so they'll poke around behind it. I don't want to go quite as far down as this one. I'll let this one be the longest one there. Okay, and then I think I'm going to do one more over here. This one counts as one since it's all in one cluster, so we'll just say that. It's starting to get a little fuzzy, so I'm going to twist it and push it back in this shape. Okay, stop just a little bit higher than the other ones. Okay, liking that. Very pretty. I know I've done a lot of flower painting. They just make me happy. I don't know why. They just do. It's just, we went to Lowe's this weekend, it's a home improvement store, and we're looking at flowers. Bought some flowers for our front porch. So it was fun. I could spend hours there just coming up with combinations. Color. Mark can attest to that. That's why he's laughing. Yes, true that.
I'm just the water guy.
You just help water them.
Yep.
Yeah. And mow.
Yep. Hopefully not the flowers like I did in the past.
Right. Yeah, the flowers are off limits. Mowing. All right, I'm making a soft white or soft yellow with the white and yellow, cadmium yellow medium. It's a little bit more orangey than this one, cadmium yellow light. And I'm going to put the centers of these little flowers in with that. Dot. Those are still a little bit wet. You can wait till they completely dry if you want to. I don't mind them blending a little bit. Okay, cute. Another one. Let's grab some of this orange. And I did use just the plain orange in some of my other one, but I think I'm going to mix just a little bit of the magenta with it, just to soften it up a little bit so it's not quite so in your face. A little bit of white and a little bit of the medium magenta with this Pyrrole orange. See how messy it gets when you mix. It's actually close to that color. Okay. Mix the lighter color, grab the darker color, and then we'll put it right in here. We'll put one big flower right here. It's going to cover over that completely. Now, if I wanted to, I could do it in, well, actually, let's make it a rose. My rose is in the example, so we'll make this one a rose. So we'll do it kind of facing us a little bit. We need some more of the orange.
So I got a question.
Yeah.
So the paint that you use the most, about how long does a tube of paint last you?
If it's a color like Quinacridone Magenta or Ultramarine Blue or one of those that I use a lot, it'll probably last me about 6 months. White, I'll go through real fast. Like, it's not even funny how fast white. So I mixed a little bit darker version with the Quinacridone Magenta and the Pyrrole for some dark. And I think I'm going to just use Quinacridone right in the middle there. It's just not dark enough. There we go. There we go. Just kind of smushing it around in a circular motion. The center will kind of be a dot, and then the outer petals will kind of curve around it like comma strokes. And do you like that? Okay, yeah, I'm liking that darker color. Let's see, so the other one was going to go right in here. So it'll be a little bit smaller, and then this one is going to be right in here.
We got a super chat.
Ooh,
from Joanna.
Oh,
yeah, so thank you very much there.
So sweet.
I don't know if I actually formed a word there.
What?
I was going to say thank you, but I tried to stop so I didn't cut you off.
Oh.
It came up with some mumbo jumbo.
Dinko. I'm grabbing a little bit of yellow here. I think I'm going to try some yellow, add a little bit of white. Let's mix it with all of this good stuff. I'm going to add a little bit of that in there for some highlights. Just a few little dabs. Okay, we'll let that set. I may mess with it later, but this has to dry for me to put anything else on it because it's going to just lift off. So let's go in here and I'm going to use some of this cobalt color, some white. Soften it up just a little bit. Just going to add a few little areas with this cobalt. Just put little random dots here and there of this color. Just to introduce another little element. Get some of that darker color in there. I like this way better than the other one. I'm patting myself on the back right now. Mentally. Because I can't actually do that anymore without hurting myself.
We don't want to pull a hammy or anything here. You need to keep being able to paint.
That's right. That's right. You gotta stay in fighting shape here. Okay, let's grab some of this medium magenta. And we're going to dot little dabs of it right at the bottom of all of these little bell-shaped flowers. This one. Okay, let's use that soft pink, that really bright pink. Now that these are dry, we can go in, and I'm actually going to use a little bit of white too and make it a little bit softer even. And we're going to use that and carefully do a little highlight on each one of these over the top of that little dark area, and that'll pop that out and make it look like it's three-dimensional. See how that makes it pop out at us? Kind of fun. Just kind of doing a little C-stroke. Don't get too fussy with it. It's just not going to look perfect. It's just an added little detail. If you're doing this with kids, you could just do your whole thing with just little circular flowers. You know, do the whole thing with flowers like this or flowers like this. You know, whatever is on their level. But I've done the landscape painting that I showed with the dot flowers with my church group a few years back, and there were little 2-year-olds doing it, you know, with their parents' help, but they were dotting away. They were having a great old time. So this is definitely another one that you could definitely do with your kids. No problem. They would love it. Now that summertime's coming up, I can't believe we're almost at the end of the school year. It does not seem possible. I only have the rest of this month and next month, 2 more months. I say getting close to the end of the school year, but I think about carpooling. That's my, I think about, I get to sleep in. That's my motivation there. Okay, put some, let's be real. Keeping it real.
So are we keeping it real?
Yep.
Okay, so first you have to go to bed in order to wake up, right? That's kind of like the process.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yes, because there's...
Don't go there.
Oh, I'm going there. You said we're keeping it real, so we're keeping it real here. So, granted, I do get up very early.
Yeah.
I get up around 4 in the morning.
Yes.
But
sometimes the book is that good.
But there
That's
are...
all I have to say.
Oh, she cut me off. Damage control already. Guess I'll wake up and there'll still be people awake in the house from the night before. And then I come home from work and it's like, oh yeah, I didn't get up until
yeah
2, 3.
No.
But hey, that's the life
ridiculous.
of an artist. So well, I've been to like 6 meetings and had lunch and all that stuff. About the same type of day.
La 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 la. I'm not listening to you. Hey, we have teenage boys. You gotta run with the bulls if you want to stay, up with what's going on. Quinacridone Magenta here. Just adding a little bit details. This is the light orange that I added. I kind of oranged them up a little bit. Cute. There we go. Okay, we're almost done, believe it or not. It's a pretty quick painting. Let's add a few. I think I want to splatter some orange. So I'm going to splatter some. Actually, I'm going to use this
Okay, so explain it real well because there was a question earlier about how you do that.
Okay, so this is a stiff bristled fan brush. Actually, let me use a toothbrush so you can see. Firm toothbrush works the best, and just like one of these straight, not the fancy kind that you get with all the holes and stuff. This is one that I've had for years, and it works the best out of all my toothbrushes. So you wet down your paint till it's really soupy. This is the cadmium yellow light here. It's not one to mix.
Are you doing it on camera so they can see? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing it on camera. Thank you. Okay, so then you grab a paper towel and you dab off the excess just like once because it can drip. And then you protect your workspace wherever you don't want the paint to hit. So if I have like an area where I'm like, I don't want the paint to hit, I just usually use my hand, or you can hold up a towel or something like that to kind of protect it. I'm going to kind of keep it in this lower area if I can.
When you do some of it, can you also do it zoomed in too, if that's possible?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hold it in my fist with my thumb right over the top of the toothbrush. Now, you could also use your other hand and do like this, but I kind of find that I have better control with it if I just kind of face my thumb and use it and point it down where you want the paint to go, not at Mark. Note to self. And
unless you're mad.
Unless I'm mad, exactly.
But I'm fortunate because I have your favorite mug between me and you.
What?
So I know you won't be flicking paint this direction.
Yeah, my Christmas mug.
Mm-hmm.
I have to have an adult sippy cup, and there's a reason why, because I spilled Sprite all over myself and my work desk because I had hot tea in my mug and my stomach was hurting, so I was like, I'm going to grab some Sprite. So I brought my Sprite in here and it was sitting right here and I knocked it over, and I'm like, that is why I'm not allowed to use open containers. I do happen to spill from the Yeti every now and then, but it's not nearly as bad as when I dump a whole Coke in my lap or Sprite in my lap or whatever it is.
Are you zooming in for part of it?
Oh, for this part?
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. I thought they meant
oh
the
man,
part
you're
where
going to get paint all over your camera.
Look how that yellow kind of just perks everything up. So you just kind of do like this and point it straight down at the wherever you want it to go. This is not working all that great tonight for me. The paint is kind of separated. It was sitting on my palette for a while, so it's not mixing well.
Okay, while you're
But you get the idea.
While you're doing that, somebody asked, how do you make portrait pink if they don't have that color?
Portrait pink, it would be, let me see, I think it was on the bottle. Let me look, see what it said. Phenol S dimezolinide and titanium dioxide. That's it. Easy.
Hashtag chemical facts.
Easy peasy. I think, actually, I've made it before with alizarin crimson, a little bit closer to it because it's a little bit more on the orange side than if you added white to the Quinacridone Magenta is a little bit more on the pink side. So I would use alizarin crimson and just add white. It'd probably get you pretty close. And if it's not close enough, you could use just a tiny bit of yellow or something to make it a little bit more orangey. So that worked well. It said what it was. I just don't recognize any of those names. So I'm going to go back in here and just kind of add a little bit more detail to some of these. Maybe grab some of the lighter color. Grab a little bit of the quinacridone, maybe. Add a little bit of darker in a couple of these. Forgot I'm still zoomed in. I think I've stayed on camera though.
So yeah, so there's a holiday coming up this weekend in 2017. Yeah. It's Easter.
Yes.
And I saw one of the paint manufacturers tweeted or something on Facebook and that showed a Easter basket, but full of all types of pastel-y paints and mediums and things like that, saying, an alternative to candy. So
nice.
Yeah, they're watching. You might talk to your significant other and say, hey, instead of the chocolate and what are those things, jelly beans and all that stuff, paints.
Easter baskets anymore, unfortunately.
Oh. Well, for those who have people that love them, they could ask for that kind of stuff.
Exactly. Okay. Oops, I was almost off camera there. Not quite. That's the truth. Okay, so let's do, I haven't used any of these blues, so let's grab this light blue permanent and a little bit of phthalo blue. Those are the two kind of that you can mix with these. Or let me zoom out a little bit. This is so shiny. Okay, that's better. So light blue permanent is basically phthalo blue with white. So, but it's just a nice to have. I use it a lot in skies and things like that. I'm going to dot some of these in around some of these flowers just to give it a little. I could have done this before we painted, but I'm being a little bit strategic about strategery going on right now.
Somebody was
And a few dots
wanting
here.
to know when you're done if you would flip it over to see what it looks upside down.
Yeah, it actually will. I did it on my other one, and it looked really good.
And you're too nice. I was just going to tell them to stand on their head and look at it.
Okay. Or do that, yeah. That's an option B. Let me grab some of this Ultramarine Blue. I think I just want a few dots, and I think I'm going to put it around some of these purple flowers here. Maybe mix a little bit of that in together. There we go. Yeah, I honestly think craft paints would probably be even a little bit easier to use than the heavy body acrylics, just because they are not going to be as sticky. Or maybe that, I don't know. I used craft acrylics for the other landscape one that I did there. It worked well. Okay, I think we're just about done. What do you think, honey? Do we need any more? Anything?
Did you flip it over?
Not yet. I did.
Just show them the back side of the painting.
Ha ha ha. You're so
Oh, okay. You're too
So
nice.
it actually looks really pretty that way too. Oh, and a good design should look good both ways, honestly. So I think we did a good job of. I do like that these colors a little bit better. I think the white is not overwhelming everything. Let's use just a little bit of.
So do I look good standing on my head?
Yes.
Okay. I want to just make sure. Make sure you got the right answer.
It's a wonder that I can paint anything, concentrate on anything for any length of time with you helping me, quote unquote. Okay, I'm going to use some of this blue, this light blue, and just do a few little light blue. I added some white to the light blue permanent. I felt like I wanted some of this brighter light blue in here, a few places. Here. Keep it entertaining, hun.
I'm trying to.
You do.
I'm trying
Do a
to.
good job.
54 minutes.
We're at 54 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh,
You're doing
okay.
awesome.
Good. I think we're done.
So
I
is
like
there
it.
going to be, honestly, will there be a traceable for this?
Yeah, I think I'll do a traceable.
Okay.
Yeah, if they
And
want one.
Where can they find it?
It'll be on Patreon. My Patreon page. The link is down in the description of the video, so they can.
Oh, yeah.
Right
Somebody
there.
reminded me. I completely forgot.
What?
Stickman.
Stickman. Ooh, Stickman's got to have some flowers today.
Yeah. Some
So-
Q-tip. Or, sorry,
Q-tip
cotton
flowers.
swab.
So we'll just do like one of those big. We'll do big magentas flowers here for him. And kitty cats and the sheep with his cowbell. There we go. Stickman's our mascot. Mark drew him, and he gets something added to him depending on whatever we're painting that day. So, yeah, no comment. That's it. The end.
Just leave it. We'll just finish this up real quick and
Okay.
be done.
All right. All right. Thanks, guys, so much for watching today. We really appreciate you, as always, for watching. And please leave a comment and thumbs up. Like it, subscribe if you haven't already, and share it if you don't mind. That always helps us if you put it on Twitter or Pinterest or wherever else. Spread the word about our channel. It helps us tremendously.
Tell people in line at the store.
Yeah, if you're at
Show-
Hobby Lobby.
Exactly.
Like, hey,
And
I
people
know a
have
great
done
artist.
people have done that.
They actually have, and
Yep.
I have added people to my channel from.
There's no commission in it for them, but
Well, no, but they get a
just our
thank
gratitude.
you. Yeah,
Yep. Okay.
gratitude. I wish I had a commission system. That'd be awesome, wouldn't it?
Oh no! Oh, don't do it!
What?
Don't! You're
What?
fiddling.
I know, I'm fiddling.
Oh, we're
Okay.
gonna go over an hour.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna stop. Well, I just wanted a couple of white dots, just a couple.
If you're new to
please.
the channel, Angela does this
I know.
all the time.
I can't help it. Sorry.
If you see some extra hands quickly reach in, that's just me.
Okay, just a few white dots. That's it. I don't know if I like those, so you could leave those out. But he's not letting me think through it. I'm rushing myself here now because it's Mark's fault. I'm gonna say it's your fault. Okay, that's better. It just needed some white. You could have splattered white too, I guess. That might have worked too. Just a little bit of white. Okay, that's good. Done. I promise we're for real done this time. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.